Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. 20-some states, 20-some parts. That is what allegedly Ukraine is going to be divided into according to one plan, one strategy. You know my opinion about it. I believe that majority of it, if not entire part of it, will belong to New Israel, Heavenly Jerusalem project, Khazaria 2.0. But today I will be presenting to you some very interesting series, TV series that has included the plan for Ukraine. And of course, as they always tell us what to expect, it's just people always take it for only entertainment purposes only. However, maybe this case is not only entertainment, as most of the times they are projecting what they want to accomplish. And so it will be with Zelensky and Servant of the People series. I'm going to play this for you, a very interesting part of it I came across, and I think you will appreciate me sharing this because it shows a lot. And we will also go to, let me see what else I have for you. I have someone who is urging Jews to flee the United States for Israel. And this is from a very recent event that took place in New York City. One of the billionaires, I think he's a billionaire, Michael Eisenberg, gave a little spiel, a little speech about the reasons why American Jews should just leave US because US is in decline and move to Israel, where the future is going to be bright. I'm sure with this new project, that's what they are intending to accomplish. Before I start, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been purchasing my book. This is just the cover because it's going through the process of being printed right now. My book number 1 for children, Matilda's and Odo's Adventures. And if you are interested in buying this wonderful book for kids that has a good energy and no hidden messages, I promise you that, you can click on the link down below, send me an email, or just pay for it on PayPal, and it will be sent to you as soon as it's ready to be shipped. And also I want to say thank you to Godeline, Jean, Herman, Ray, and Martin for your donations on PayPal. Very much appreciated. So again, before we start, I want to present to you some quotes. I just want to read you this because I think this is good to put a perspective into everything that we are watching. When you tell someone something they have believed for a long time is a lie, the immediate reaction is anger. Well, I got news for you. You are about to be told a whole bunch of stuff that you thought was true, but was false. Mentally prepare for it. It's coming. You've been lied to for decades. And this is exactly the mindset I would like you to have when you are watching my videos, because we are questioning here literally everyone and everything. And without having an open mind, it's hard to understand or be open to possibilities of what is really taking place. Another very good and on point quote, or someone said, this is William Blum, who I'm not familiar with, but it says he's a former US State Department employee. He said that no matter how paranoid or conspiracy-minded you are, what the government is actually doing is worse than you imagine. And I would put in this category not just one government, but I would say in plural, the governments all around the world, because this is the issue. This is the case, not just with US government or European Union governments. In my opinion, this is every government. So where shall we go first? Let's go to that TV series that Zelensky was the main character of. He was playing the president of Ukraine. I haven't watched those series, I want you to know. But I keep on coming across in the last few years, across clips that are perfectly illustrating actually what we are living now. So I don't know exactly what year those series were recorded, but of course, much in advance before Zelensky became the president. They had to introduce him to the public, and people started to like him. And, you know, that's how it usually goes. So they set the tone, they set the ground for his presidency in a way. So let's take a look at this. Very interesting video. It has translation into English. I will be rewinding this and I will be showing this to you in parts and then in a big length because it's important. This will present to you the divide of Ukraine. It's just unreal, guys, because they actually showed this, okay? And the delegations that are making their way to Kiev, visiting Zelensky. So please, please do not be lazy. This is an original Ukrainian language. You're going to read this in English. And then, of course, I will be stopping after and giving you my commentary. So let me find the right video. You know, they always show us what's to come. Let me mute myself and you can read it from the screen. Then we will be revisiting this after again.
Ну вот и все.
В смысле?
Последняя делегация.
Уманская автономная еврейская республика во главе с раввином Мордехаем Израилем, он же Михаил Семенович Ройзман, ваш старый знакомый. Основное направление экономики УАЕР – паломничество. Ребби Мордехай истратил почти все свое состояние, но таки доказал в лондонском суде, что из 40 лет скитаний Моисея по пустыне с евреями 39 они провели в Умане. Что именно здесь, в Умане, берет свое начало священная река Иордан.
И из Умани в Израиль? Там же море. Как это может быть?
Очень тайными подземными тропами.
Мы не опоздали?
Вы всегда вовремя. Вам туда, господин Ройзман. Ну что, Василий Петрович, пойдем и мы?
Почему вы думаете, что они все согласятся?
Потому что им это нужно больше, чем нам. Конечно, они будут что-то для себя там выбивать, требовать, но все козыри на руках у нас. Они нелегитимны, мир отрезал их санкциями. Рано или поздно народ одумается и порвет их всех, как тузик грелку. Они же не дураки. Я думаю, что все закончится всеобщим единением. Пойдемте. Да, и главное, Василий Петрович, чтобы никто не поднял этот вопрос, откуда берет истоки Украина, какую именно область приплыли Кища, Карифия, Алыбить, сестра их, потому что для них это очень болезненный вопрос.
Почему вы думаете, что никто не поднимет этот вопрос?
Доверьтесь моей интуиции, опыту и врожденной дипломатии.
Головна політична подія року. Сьогодні в Києві відбувається саміт 28 новоутворених держав України. Головне питання на порядку денному – чи вдасться зняти всі суперечності між новими суб'єктами державності. На саміт покладаються великі надії щодо об'єднання України. Перед початком саміту вступне слово взяв
All right, so as you could see, there was a delegation with rabbis. One of those rabbis, let me actually close this for a moment. His first name, yeah, I'm telling you, his first name was, we're gonna go back to this video because it will show you all those delegations for 28 states, which again, I don't believe it will be that many. I actually think it will be mainly the Great New Israel. The name of this rabbi was Mordehai. And I think it's important to pay attention to the names and numbers and, you know, symbols, of course, because they do. So we might as well. Mordecai is a central figure in the biblical book of Esther, known as Queen Esther's cousin and adoptive father, a Jewish official in the Persian court who foiled an assassination plot and famously stood up to the villainous Haman, leading the deliverance of the Jews and the establishment of the holiday of Purim. So they will deliver the Jews to that part of Ukraine. Why am I playing this for you? Because this is just confirming what I have been researching for the last, I think now it's about 2 months now, a little bit more than that. So why don't we all take a look at those delegations who came to visit Zelensky and how they wanted to divide Ukraine. Again, I want to emphasize my position on this. My take on this is that majority of it will be, perhaps maybe some parts will have different names, but majority of it is ultimately the goal to create heavenly New Jerusalem and the great return, comeback of Khazaria 2.0. So let's go back to this video and we will look at all those delegations, what countries they represent, where they came from, and what parts of Ukraine they will be in control or they will be taking over. Again, this is not what I think, but perhaps some of it might come to fruition. Let's take a look.
Никого не впускать, звонки не принимать, президента не беспокоить. Так, у нас час до саммита. Гостей будем встречать по высшему разряду.
Юрий Иванович, обязательно встречать?
Василий Петрович, как встретишь, так саммит и проведешь. Это не обсуждается. Так, начнем по списку. Днепровская коммунистическая республика и тот. Это тот.
Который?
Все тот. Тимчасово арендованная территория.
Желтая вода.
Они претендуют на всю так называемую Днепровскую коммунистическую республику.
Куда же смотрит руководство так называемой республики?
Забыли девиз коммунистов: от каждого по способностям, каждому по потребностям. В данном случае все зависит от способностей руководства и потребностей их семей. Вам сюда. Милые люди. Союз свободных самодостаточных республик. Сумели воссоздать Советский Союз, правда, периода застоя. Их генсек – одержимый коллекционер. Собирает памятники Владимира Ильича Ленина и автопарк Леонида Ильича Брежнева. Готов обменять все шахты Донбасса на мавзолей и кусок Кремлевской стены с членами Политбюро.
Как все шахты? А как же они будут жить?
Как и сейчас, на полной дотации России. В любой момент готовы присоединиться к большому брату.
Прям заинтриговали меня. А кто же это?
Ваш друг Карасюк Сергей Леонидович.
Кто?
Вот почему вы не улыбаетесь?
Как я могу улыбаться, если не уважаю этого человека?
Вы думаете, они рады вас видеть, да? Вы можете хоть кому-то пожать руку?
Нет.
А ради меня?
Нет.
А ради страны?
Хорошо.
Крымский Эмират. Глава эмир Тахтаяров. Наш многострадальный Крым. Его и воевали, и дарили, и передавали. И все кричали: Крым наш. Вы, кстати, кричали?
Конечно. Я всегда говорил, Крым наш.
А зря, имеются они очень злопамятные.
А вы что, не говорили?
Я всегда был толерантен. Я и этим, и вашим, и нашим. Всем говорил: Крым ваш, Крым ваш, Крым ваш. Вот такой он, Крымский Эмират. Галицкое королевство. Король Борислав Костюк.
С какого перепуга это сумасшедший король?
Василий Петрович, вы мне все испортите. Это политес. Надо быть обаятельным. Улыбайтесь. Всем миром искали потомка короля Данила. Брали пробу крови у каждого жителя, сверяли ДНК.
И что, у него нашлось?
У него нашлось 500 головорезов. Поэтому тема поиска быстро закрылась. И теперь даже непонятно, кто из них бывший основатель королевства. Данила или Борислав?
Чего ж вы руку не пожали?
Он меня расстрелял.
Так вам и надо.
Знаете, Василий Петрович, о покойниках или хорошо, или ничего. Слава женщина с гимном «Як тебе не любити, Харкова мій».
Не понимаю, Юрий Иванович, одного. Чем Жанну Харьков не устраивал? Чего она сидит глазовой?
Но пока Харьков не станет столицей всей Украины, она туда не ногой. Какие люди, какие узоры. Не Слава Жанна, это Дольче Габбана.
Брала в столице. Це Барабашова.
Договоримся. Прошу. Василий Петрович, я из штанов выпрыгиваю, вы так сами сорвете. Можно хотя бы кого-нибудь приобнять?
Хорошо.
Шведская волость. Король Карл Тарасович Нельсон Квитка. Sorry, please. Вот вы зачем обняли этого человека?
Вы что, надо мной издеваетесь? Вы же мне сказали обнять президента.
Да, но не его, охранника.
Ладно. Прошу. Только попробуйте мне что-то сказать. Один из них точно президент.
Они все трое президенты. Словако-угорско-румынская фузия. Вот такая вот она фузия. Пытается одной фузией на 3 страны. Поэтому избрали 3 президентов.
Они что, все трое правят?
Да, по очереди. Меняется сутки через 3.
Нужно было до такого додуматься.
Да, выдумщики еще те.
А трубопровода Уренгой-Помаров-Ужгород работает?
А нет, они его порезали на американские горки. Кстати, лучшие в Европе.
Ужас.
Да это еще что? Вот Черновецкая пустошь пытается из пустой трубы сделать коллайдер. Ну да бог с ними. Черноморская конфедерация.
Юрий Иванович, вам привет от мамы.
Одесса? От вашей мамы. Угрожаете?
Да нет, мы присматриваем.
Ну тогда маме тоже передавайте привет.
А чего же вы сами не навещаете?
Так я же у вас в розыске.
А я у вас. Вы видите, Василий Петрович, передавайте ему привет.
Непременно. Прошу. Вот гнида.
Понятное дело, первым делом он приватизировал Одесский припортовый.
Нет, да кому он нужен? Завод и порт под санкциями. Заход иностранных судов запрещен. Зато море стало чище. Рыбы стало море.
Занимаются рыболовством.
Боже упаси. Черноморский бычок объявлен священным животным.
Как?
Гуси же как-то спасли Рим. Вылов бычка запрещен вплоть до тюремного заключения. 1 бычок – 1 год. 2 бычка – 2 года. Кстати, 5 бычков – 3 года. Опыт. Но не для Сурикова. В конфедерации бычка не едят, зато в соседних странах священное животное трещит за ушами и, как то кажуть, аж гай шумить. Бурштинно-янтарная республика. Глава республики, бывшая мисс Ровна, бывшая жена сбежавшего губернатора и нынешняя хозяйка всех янтарных копий. Республика, как и все остальные, под санкциями, поэтому янтаря, хоть, как говорится, бурштином жуй, им лечат, его покупают, им же расплачиваются за янтарь. Бурштин за бурштин янтарь.
А что это за чушь? Это же одно и то же. Янтарь, бурштин, бурштин, янтарь, стол, стил. Губы, губы.
Да, они так и разговаривают, сами себя переводят. Зато языковой вопрос снят.
Доброго дня. Добрый день. Хозяйка, господарка бурштинно-янтарной республики.
Это вам. Це вам.
Василий Петрович, нужно принять такую традицию. Вам туда, вам туды.
Зачем мне эти бабушкины бусы?
Ну как же, это полезно. Янтарь он лечит, он от стрессов лечит, от давления, от всего, можно сказать. Вам еще повезло, что бусы, тут как-то на переговорах они заставили меня янтарь глотать.
Никак.
А бусы лучше.
Запорожский гетьманат во главе гетьман Назар.
Какой назад?
Добрый вечер, Сагайдачный.
Сагайдачный?
Добрый вечер. Образ собирательный, поднял на флаг сечевые традиции и убеждает все население, что именно Запорожье является колыбелью украинской государственности, что именно сюда Кищик, Хариф и сестра их Лыбедь приплыли в V веке.
На Хортицу.
Да, приплыли, то есть вышли размяться, покурить.
А что покурить?
Ну, я не знаю, что они курили, но тем временем ладью их унесло вот сюда, к Киеву, и это всех запутало.
Как это может быть? Против течения?
Василий Петрович, когда это было? Времена давние, темные. А кто там помнит, куда тогда тек Днепр?
Днепр тек в море.
А где тогда было море? Времена ведь темные.
Вас вітає Запорізький гетьманат. Брати, Запоріжжя – колиска нашого козацтва, колиска нашої державності. Слава Запоріжжю! Згоден. З кожним вашим словом згоден. Нам куди? Дякую. Куди?
Okay, I hope you enjoy watching this. I think, of course, a lot of it was just for entertainment purposes only. However, the last visitation from certain group was absolutely on point, in my opinion. And I don't know if you have noticed, behind Zelensky, there was a statue, a bust of, I think, Napoleon Bonaparte. And I think this is a good segue to take you to this short clip, since, you know, Macron and his wife/husband/father, God only knows what they are up to. But let's take a listen at this. Who rules, right? Who rules Macron and who he has to report to? Because we kind of know, like, you know, who is above all of this, what's going on. And of course, in different levels of power. So let me mute myself, guys. And just 1 second, let me mute myself. We're gonna play this short clip.
Who do they answer to? Who? Macron and all that. Who do you think France serves? What policies has France supported throughout its entire modern existence from World War II and before? Who? The international Jew. Show up, Candace. Show up, trusting God, destroy them, and help us expedite the process of creating a better world that we can actually feel good about handing over to our children. Honestly. And if you do die, what a noble way to die. I know that's not the loving advice that most are giving you, but I don't know. I've said it time and time again. I'll say it to you. It's a time for warriors now.
I agree. It's time for warriors now. Just a quick update. One of my videos I forgot to mention, in which I was talking about Erika Kirk and those planes, the Egyptian planes that Candice Owens is investigating, has been blocked. YouTube just emailed me today that that video has been blocked. So I'm not surprised, because probably I hit some nerve that it could be very, very on point. But looking at all of this, I just can't stop thinking about this particular, because I think that's really what's up, you know. If you see here, if you see well on the screen, right here, you see Rabbi and Zelensky and the graves of Ukrainian soldiers. Here you see Zelensky at the wall. Next, on the right, you see Putin at the wall with another rabbi. Here you see Russian soldiers who died, Russian men who died in that war. And down below, you see Rabbi Lazar. This is Russian rabbi from Chabad Lubavitch. This is Ukrainian rabbi from Chabad Lubavitch, meeting with Putin at the Kremlin. So this is a good summary what's up. Now, let me take you to that meeting that took place in New York just, I think, 5 days ago. And when I came across this post, it got my attention. So it says, "Leave America now. Eisenberg," this is this guy right here. I'm going to play a video with him in a moment. "Urges Jews to leave the US, warns America is a declining empire." So there was a conference in New York, and he was part of it, as well as Hillary Clinton was part of it, and some people that you probably recognize, a lot of people I don't know, and I'm not interested in diving deeper into who they are at this point. But I want to play this video for you. You're going to hear from this guy who is a billionaire, I think, talking about giving advice to Jewish Americans, I think, to leave the United States. But that's part of the plan again, right? Like the West must fall. So now the money-making machines are mainly going to be in the Asian region, right? Or, Middle East, because that's where Israel is. So this is all strategy. Now let's take a listen to what he had to say. I'm going to share a video from a different channel. So give me a moment.
Shalom in New York anymore. That's what Miriam said this morning.
No, you can't say
So
shalom
just to
in New
pick
York.
up on that,
Yeah.
what I'll tell everybody is skip Miami. If you're leaving New York, just come straight to Israel. There's no reason to make a stop in Florida before you need to come.
You often say that Zionism is economic growth. When we talk about the possibility for 1 million Jews moving to Israel, what is the economic logic behind such a vision? And
Okay. Now listen to this closely. This is not one of the clips that really made the rounds, but it may be the most revealing clip of anything that came out of this conference in regards to what the Israelis are doing and how they're thinking about the future. Listen closely to what he says here.
why is now the right moment?
So first of all, immigration in general always adds to economic growth, except when you bring in, let's call it less qualified immigration. But all immigration to Israel at this point has been contributive to the economy. There's just
Blacks. We try not to take blacks.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
If somehow they do get in because they're Jewish, we sterilize them. Well, we don't want to talk about that here.
a study about the billions of dollars that Olim, particularly from North America and Western Europe, have brought to Israel. And I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but they're large. But the Israeli economy is going to go through a transformation now. It's not only going to be high-tech led. We're going to build a finance sector in Israel. That's the first thing that's going to happen. There's new tax laws and regulatory relaxation that's going to happen. And you're going to see beginning already in Q1, hedge funds get set up in Israel so we can become another capital of finance. I'll argue we will beat London within a short decade as a second capital of finance.
We hope so.
It's going to be New York as a gateway to America, Hong Kong a gateway to China, Dubai a gateway to Southeast Asia, and Israel as a gateway to other parts of the world. But I'll add something else. I think the other thing going on right now is IMEC, and we have here in the audience Daria, wait, raise your hand. Daria Pishavar, her father and I, Shervin, wrote an article together about how there will be peace between Israel and Iran. As President Trump said, they will join the Abraham Accords. And Noor Pahlavi is here. Her Excellency, thank you for joining us. And I think we'll see, by the way, even more regional integration with the 70 million people of Iran and all the other Gulf nations. And as IMEC runs through Israel, the opportunities are literally going to be limitless. And so we will, over the next decade, build this trillion-dollar economy. And you can decide, you can stay here in New York in a declining empire, or you can come to Israel, which is part of the rising middle of the world, which is moving south and east.
Oh, wow.
That's what I encourage you to do.
So Israel is going to beat London. And as he said, it's going to be $1 trillion business venture economy. And it's moving south. And I think all of this is perfectly fitting into this great new Israel project that I have been describing to you for, like I said, over 2 months now. And I'm not surprised that he makes those kind of statements, because ultimately that's what they want. They want to destroy the Western economies, and they are doing this already. You know who pulled the strings from above, and you really think about it, it starts to make sense. The shift is on the east. That's where they will be living in safety, to some extent, of course. This is the idea. Meanwhile, the chaos and distraction and decline will be taking place on the west side that has already served its purpose for them. So let's go to another video in which you're going to hear from one of those what's actually going on and how simple it is to explain how the system works.
The system isn't broken. It was built to break you. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. Turn lions into house cats. After Prussia lost to Napoleon, they didn't say we lost to a stronger army. They said we lost to disobedient citizens. So they built a solution, a system that's going to produce obedience, not brilliance, not leadership, just loyalty. And that system we're still living in right now. It's not just a school, it's the whole model. Train them young, punish strong people, reward compliance, and call it structure, call it success. Solomon says, educate a child according to his way. His way, not the state's way, not the society's way, not a one-size-fits-all assembly line. You were born with a path, and they buried it under standardization.
So you remember when Rockefeller created the schooling system in the United States? I'm not sure if it was 1904 or something around that time frame. And it's pretty known quote by him, what he said during the process of that implementing this new schooling system. He said, we want workers, not thinkers. So guys, I mean, we should not be surprised because this is just the replay of the same formula they have been using, but I just want to show you one more video. This is a video that probably many of you have seen already, but if you haven't, here it is. Some say that Vatican is above those so-called Jews, right? But I think it's a little bit different as far as the structure of power. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but when you look at this picture, and I don't really need to play the sound, I just want to show you the image. Let me just find it for you. When you look at the Pope, not this one that we have now, the previous one. Let me just play it, okay? You see Netanyahu and you see Rothschilds as well. Karl Mayer von Rothschild. And the Pope is kissing their head, not the other way around. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen it already. Here we go. He's kissing all of those men hand. So let me know what you think about all of this. I think that's all I have for you today, everyone. Thank you so much for supporting my work by donating on PayPal, by joining my Patreon, by buying my book. The book number 1, remember, this is just the beginning. I have had them removed by Amazon when I was in Russia. If you haven't watched that video, make sure to go back to my video in which I explained. I think one of the reasons why this book was removed, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this, was because the final approval stage that I was making was while I was physically present in Russia. So they were able to see, that was 2 years ago. So, you know, a little bit different approach than now, because now it looks like all is good from a US-Russia perspective, really. But in that time, it was very strict and I was not, I think I was under the radar and they saw that my location physically is in Moscow in that moment. So when I approved the final stage of some corrections as they required, they removed the account. I think that was one of the reasons. Of course, they will not put this in the explanation why the account has been closed and why all the royalties has been taken away. That the reason is because you reside in Russia or whatever. Anyway, the book is back. I'm very happy. 2 years later, it's going to be sold all around the world to many different wonderful children who will appreciate it. And I thank you so much for watching my video today. The links will be attached down below in the description box. So just scroll down underneath the video and you find it there. And again, if you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think, especially about the servant of the people and that visit from certain rabbis and deciding that part of Ukraine will be their land again. I think actually much more than part of their land, part of Ukraine. Thank you guys. I see you in the next video. Lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Until next time. Bye everyone.